It's a rating ranking for the spaceport.
Oh, I know this. Many people are blaming about a ship, right?
Hey, Chris, ugly. It's over.
In another word, why people say what they want to say?
The next speaker, Hidaka, also thinks of it. People don't forget moralism and conservation. However, on SNS, people criticize others in immoral ways and have some possibility to act unconsciously and indirectly. How can we retain morals? How can we avoid hurting others? Through her speech, she wants people to rethink on using SNS. This will lead a new society where no one gets hurt on SNS.
Now, we are ready for departure. Please make sure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. Let us welcome today's seventh space traveler. The seventh space traveler is Miss Hinako Watanabe from University of Tokyo. She will deliver her speech under the title of Wait a Moment. Wait a Moment. So, Miss Watanabe, please come up to the stage and launch your rocket to the frontier.
Thank you, the master of the ceremony, honorable judges and questioners, and timekeepers. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Your face is ugly. I don't want to see your face anymore. Have you ever told such a thing? I guess no one has. It's absolutely rude and immoral, right? However, it was my friend who had an experience with being said such a wooden word. With who? A person who she hadn't even met before. Guess where? On Twitter. Actually, she was entering for a beauty pageant of a university, in Japanese, Miss Kong. Every day she uploads a picture of her face, her clothing, and so on SNS. However, not so often, but not so rarely, some people raise objections to her post. Every time she saw the winning word, she looked so disappointed. I could hardly stand watching her. Your face is ugly. I can't easily imagine a person saying such a word in a face-to-face communication. However, when it comes to SNS, there are tons of words and statements like this, which are so immoral and so lacerate. You also have seen these expressions written on SNS, haven't you? And even as often, some of you may have the experience of uttering immoral words on SNS when you get irritated or angry with someone. Why people tend to immediately lose their morals on SNS? Generally, there are several reasons for this, such as the anonymity of SNS or people's desire of getting attention. Yet sadly, I don't think we can completely remove immoral speech from themselves, since these factors are also related to the merits of using SNS. So now, my purpose today is to reduce the number of casualties by also talking to the silent supporters of the immoral speech. Who are the silent supporters? Actually, most of you here may also be one of the silent supporters. Those are the people who are silently showing their approval by taking some actions such as liking or retweeting. Have you ever cared that much? I imagine that no small number of you have experienced of liking or tweeting other people's remarks without thinking that much. And sometimes you may also do so, even if you feel the expressions are a bit offensive or immoral. However, here, I want you to notice that these casual actions can also hurt someone's feelings, as the immoral speech itself does. How can this be true? In the first place, by liking or tweeting, the larger number of people will see the statement. Without intending to do so, each one of you can be a spreader of the immoral speeches. Moreover, these approving actions can help attackers to accelerate those immoral speeches. Most of you using Twitter or Instagram will become happy if your post is liked by someone, right? In the same way, your one-liking hurt can make attackers excited, and this leads them to make immoral speeches again and again. Each one of you can be a motivator of those. Thus, your actions lacking consideration have possibility to suffer someone, indirectly and unconsciously. Now you may know that each of us can hurt other people on this mess, directly and indirectly, consciously and unconsciously. Then how can we avoid doing that? My solution is really simple, but everyone doesn't do now. The key phrase is, wait a moment. Yes, it means think before you act. Every time you take actions on SNS, 1 or 2 from today, wait a moment and think of the actions you are to make. Wait a moment, is that all? By doing so, can we change our actions? Some of you may think like this, but please, there is more research that can be the basis of this solution. In a research by a company supervising certain SNS website, the number of the posts including violent or offensive expressions decreased drastically when they added one function to the service. The search function was to hook up a note that says, is it really okay to post this? You have a responsibility for this remark, etc. before the post is actually sent. After a moment, many users would click posting the post or change the expressions into a better one. And I think this can also be applied to the silent approving actions, such as liking or tweeting. Then how can we wait a moment when using SMS? Of course, I hope all the SMS services to be added this will be noticed, but sadly, there aren't such functions in the popular SMS services now. Therefore, why don't we do this wait a moment by ourselves if we're posting or even liking or tweeting? Say, wait a moment, decide or her to calm down. And here are the keys to wait a moment before making actions with hate. The first key is to act slowly and deliberately by using some function. Fortunately, most SNS services have the function of drafting your post and bookmarking or preserving other people's posts. Some of you may haven't used before, but it can be used as one step of waiting a moment. When you have written a tweet, save it as a draft once. Let a few agreement to other people's posts. Bookmark it once instead of spreading it. Try to insert cushion before actually acting. Then the second key is to imagine concretely. Imagine the specific effect your action had. By uttering or spreading immoral words, you may have the intention of attacking some particular person or a group you don't like. But please remember that the number of people getting hurt will be larger than expected. Why? That's because those words hurt not only the target itself, but also other people having similar characters. For instance, my friend entering for a beauty pageant was attacked by someone, and this of course hurt her. But was that it? Indeed, other finalists said that they were also hurt, since they felt like maybe uploading selfies would make some people uncomfortable. As in this case, there are possibilities of unintentionally hurting some other people, even if you don't dislike them. Here we go. You see how you can be calmed down after this moment, thinking some other things, right? The important thing is to wait a moment and spend time in whatever way to calm down to avoid losing more. I'm not saying that we shouldn't argue on SNS. I'm not saying that we shouldn't approve counter opinions on SNS. I'm saying that even on SNS, even if we can't see each other's face, we shouldn't forget consideration. We should definitely devise a better ways of conveying our own opinions. in terms of the choice of words or the modes of expression. And I believe that once you create a movement and calm down, you might be able to have consideration, as if you're discussing with your friends over a cup of coffee. This person is really annoying. I want to vent my anger by tweeting. Oh, this idea is new to me. Though the expression is a bit offensive, I would just like it. Wait a moment. Aren't you hurting others? Aren't you losing morals? Thank you.
Next is the question and answer session. Mr. Posca, please.
Thank you very much for your speech. My first question would be, with this waiting a moment, is it really about waiting a moment, or is it really about asking yourself the question, is this okay to post?
Yes.
So what is more important, waiting or considering this question whenever you post? Is this really okay to post?
By waiting a moment, people can maybe they're just getting irritated or have some intention about attacking someone in the moment. But after a moment, after a second, they can be calmed down and they can have consideration, for attacking someone, and they may be able to change their questions.
Okay. How big is this problem?
How big? Unfortunately, I don't have such data, but data or something like that. But I think that in these days, some politicians made some again. People using SNS will attack them sometimes in more words, and these often happen. And I see those incidents every day. So it may be big.
Okay. Do you think that platforms like Twitter or Line should do more? For example, Line, if you type in a word, it will pop up a little cute emoji. Should it also, when hateful words are used, should it raise the question, is it okay to post this?
I think the companies providing those SMS services would do that, but they may think that it may be difficult for them to practice that. So I made a speech for all of you to all of you can take that.
Okay. You talked about how silent supporters are making the problem worse. Is there a way that silent supporters could improve the problem? What would be your advice?
Yeah, I think so. Since the main reason, one of the main reasons attackers stay more speak is that they want to catch attraction by violent words, and they get happy if the post is spreading. So if each of us
Mr. Rainbow time has expired.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Posca.